guys, what's up? My name is Sean Wayne. Today, tara, pag-usapan natin itong naging sagot ni Senate President Chis Escudero, no? Mukhang pikon na ang lolo nyo sa mga taga-House of Representative dahil sa mga komento na keso-keso. Okay guys, so as you all know, since bumalik sila last June 2, atat ang mga taga-House of Representatives, di sinabing lahat, ano? You know who they are, okay? Especially the Makabayan Bloc. And not only the Makabayan Bloc, no? Even Rizal de Veras and Coco Pimentel, the so-called minority opposition. Recently lang, no, nakita natin, nag-walk out nga itong si Senator Chis Escudero. Dahil siguro napikon na siya na paulit-ulit. I mean, you cannot lecture someone who knows the law, who knows the rules, and who knows the process. And he's just trying to put things together in a proper perspective. Whereas, yung iba, no, gumagawa sila ng sarili nilang interpretation just to lean towards dun sa gusto nilang mangyari. But with Senator Chis Escudero, iba rin naman yung kanyang pinapaliwanag and nobody seems to understand what he's trying to tell them. Diba? Especially kay Risa Hontiveros. Kaya hindi mo talaga masisisi itong si Chis Escudero kung bakit siya nag-walk out dito kay Hontiveros. Diba? And not only that, just a couple of days ago, when nag-start ang diba, pagkasama pa si Chis Escudero at saka si Martin Romualdez, doon sa LEDCA, diba? They've talked about the priority bills, ano dapat unahin, and so on and so forth. And a couple of minutes ago, I just read something from Senator Amy Marcos that they are already drafting a resolution to dismiss the impeachment trial against VP Sara. Anyway, pakinggan muna natin dito si Senator Chis Escudero.
Senado. Ang mga kongresista tila nasasanay na diktahan ang Senado kaugnay sa gusto nilang mangyari sa impeachment. Pues kung trabaho ng ilang mambabatas na maging sunod-sunuran kay Speaker Romualdez na gusto, klaro itong impeachment na ito, hindi namin trabaho yan sa Senado. Kung nais nila maging sunod-sunuran sa gusto ng kanilang Speaker, pues hindi po namin trabaho yan.
Okay, sir, kasi kanina din meron kayong nabanggit na parang
ito, no, it is a very strong statement coming from Senator Chis Escudero. It's like, gearing up a battle against the House of Representatives and the Senate. No? Kung maaalala nyo, during the People's Initiative, no, one of the things that they want to change is magkaroon ng uni, hindi BICAM. Ibig sabihin, gusto nila mawalan ng power ang boto ng Senado. Come to think of it, 24 lang silang senador. Paano kung ayaw nila tapos gusto ng Congress yung ganito? At magbobotohan sila as one. Diba? So dun pa lang, alam na ng House of, ng Senado kung anong gusto mangyari ng mga House of Representatives. Kaya tuloy siguro, no? Ito it's just something that we want to ponder, no? Kumbaga, we are trying to recall kung ano yung mga past events na nangyari para mag-come up itong si Senator Chis Escudero dun sa statement niya na mukhang nasasanay daw ang House of Representatives na diktahan sila sa Senado. Okay? Napaka-strong ng kanyang message dito, di ba? Parang gusto sabihin ni Senator Chis Escudero, wag niyong i-cross yung line and make Senate feel that you can actually barge into their offices and tell them what they need to do. parang gustong sabihin ni Chis Escudero, kung ano man yung mga kabulastugan nyo dyan sa House of Representatives, huwag nyo kaming idamay dito sa Senado.
Sumuran? Sinusunod?
Ang mga kongresista tila nasasanay na diktahan ang Senado kaugnay sa gusto nilang mangyari sa impeachment. Pues kung trabaho ng ilang mambabatas na maging sunod-sunuran kay Speaker Romualdez na gusto klaro itong impeachment na ito, hindi namin trabaho yan sa Senado. Hindi ko rin trabaho yan bilang tagapangulo ng Senado. Para sa akin, gagampanan namin ang aming tungkulin ayon sa aming paniniwala na tamang proseso na naayon sa batas. Nung inupuan nila na mahigit 2 buwan itong impeachment complaint, may narinig ba sila sa amin? Nakalagay din sa rules nilang immediately ibibigay ng SecGen yung impeachment complaint sa Speaker. Hindi nila ginawa yon sa loob ng mahigit 2 buwan. May narinig ba silang reklamo sa amin? Ginalang namin ang kanilang pasya, proseso at pagdidesisyon. Yan sana ang inaasahan ko rin sa kanila. Subalit maging ganun pa man, hindi ko pwede silang gawin, piliting gawin o hindi gawin ng particular na bagay. Gayon din sila. Kung nais nila maging sunod-sunuran sa gusto ng kanilang speaker, pues hindi po namin trabaho yan.
Sir, bakit sa tingin niyo?
Maging sunod-sunuran sa agustuhan ng kanilang speaker. I mean, is that an accusation, Senator Chis Escudero?
You make anong position si Speaker?
Pero, here's the thing, no? If it's really coming from Tambaluslos na yung mga sinasabi ng mga congressmen, bakit hindi na lang si Tambaluslos ang magsabi directly sa'yo? Knowing that, just few days ago, magkasama kayo, di ba? Oh, bakit niya pinapadaan? I mean, if he has the balls, di ba? If he has the balls, bakit hindi niya directly sinasabi sa'yo? Bakit kailangan niyang padaanin sa mga kongresista?
What is it in for?
Siguro naman, klaro naman yun nung simula't simulan na wala namang magaganap at mangyayari sa Kamara, lalo na't ganong karaming boto kung hindi yan sinang-ayunan ng Speaker ng Kamara.
But what would be his motive?
Hindi para sa akin na sabihin yan. Siguro para na yan sa mga magaling sa mga political na analysis kaugnay ng kasalukuyang sitwasyon at darating na panahon. Pero klaro, ang Senado ay hindi sunod-sunuran sa Kamara kaugnay sa anumang bagay. Kabilang na ang impeachment, anuman ang ingaw-ngaw o sabihin nila. Ang mga kongresista...
Well, here's the thing maybe, no? Wait. Ayun na nga, no? Gulo. Wait lang. Ayan, inayos natin. Anyway, so balikan natin. So basically, guys, no, nagkakaroon na ng clash between the House of Representatives at ang Senate regarding dito sa impeachment. This is something that we never saw coming. No? Bakit? Kasi, number one, I think, Senator Chis Escudero and Martin Romualdez has, sabihin na lang natin, a good working relationship. But here, it seems that may something else. Okay? One of our observations. Number two, during the recess, sinabi ni Senator Chis Escudero, uumpisahan daw ang hearing ng July, not in June. Nung papalapit na matapos ang kanilang break, sinabi magsa-start daw ng June, which eventually na-move ng 11. And by June 13, there's a term that they use wherein it means parang graduate na ang lahat ng mga senador at kongresista na hindi nanalo. Okay? Kumbaga, pa-enter na sila sa 28th Congress and those people who did not win the election, di ba? Excuse me, will have to exit. Parang ganun yata yung dating nung ano. Siniday ba yung term doon na ginamit ni ano? Sinidia, something like that. Ginamit ni Senator Tito Soto. Okay, that's on June 13. By June 30, magsa-start ang 28th Congress. Ayon nga kay Senator Francis Tolentino, citing the case of Balag versus Senate, ang Senate daw ay hindi continuing body. Okay? And he explained that further during the debate, no, sa plenary. Alam naman natin kung sino yung nakadebate niya ron. Walang iba kundi si Coco Pimentel. So iba naman yung sinasabi ni Coco Pimentel, and he was not able to stand doon sa kanyang argumento. And for me, it is more clearer for us to absorb yung sinabi ni Senator Francis Tolentino. Okay? Then ngayon, which is eventually later on, pag-uusapan natin yung may ikot daw na resolution to dismiss itong impeachment trial ni VP Sara. Bakit kanyo? Simple lang. Kung babalikan natin itong sinasabi ni Francis Tolentino at ni Franklin Drilon, Attorney Macalintal, even Tito Soto, and retired Justice Carpio, kung babalikan natin yun, they've already predicted based on their experience and knowledge na walang matutuloy na impeachment trial. Now, there are also other opinions, no, coming from different political analysts or political commentator reactions. Sabi nila, baka daw ginawa yung, kung meron man grupo na talagang merong primary interest na ma-impeach si Sara Duterte, walang iba kundi ang Makabayan lang. And most probably, parang lumalabas na umasa sila because they felt and think na nakuha nila ang suporta ng buong House sa kanilang advocacy na ma-impeach nga si VP Sara. Alam naman natin kung bakit nila gustong-gusto yun. Dahil ito naman si VP Sara, the very reason lang naman kung bakit siya kumuha ng confidential fund is to make sure that she can use that to make the country insurgency free. 'Di ba? Kumbaga, if you recall, meron din isang naging speech si VP Sara na sinabi niya na ginagamit nga niya yon yung confidential fund para mahanap yung link between Makabayan Bloc at ang CPP. She was very open about that. So hindi na tayo magugulat kung bakit masyadong interesado ang Makabayan Bloc na siya ay ma-impeach. Because by the time, the way I see it, by the time na maging presidente si VP Sara, mas magkakaroon siya ng malaking access sa confidential at saka intel fund. At magagamit niya yun lalong-lalo na to make the country insurgency free. Kung ang tatay niya, okay, ang naging number one advocacy is maging drug-free ang Philippines, which is, we know na it was very impossible, but he was at least able to bring drug users to be rehabilitated, yung mga taong dapat makulong, yung mga dapat managot. And I think with VP Sara, by the time that, sabi nga niya, pinag-iisipan niya depende sa magiging resulta ng impeachment trial niya. But she was very sure. She was very sure na tatakbo siya dahil gusto niyang ayusin ng Pilipinas. At isa sa magiging advocacy niya, hindi lang siguro labanan ang droga, pero gawing insurgency. They were able to do that in Davao region, not just in Davao City, but in Davao region. And there are several places as well here in the Philippines that they were able to make their provinces, their municipality or city as insurgency free. So if VP Sara was able to do that along with the other members, no, or along with other leaders dyan sa Davao region, I think possible din na kakayanin nila maging insurgency free. Ang ano, i-eradicate talaga nila ang CPP-NPA, ang mga communist party. Kaya nga ginawa yung NTF-ELCAC para suportahan, no, ang mga naging rebelde na magbalik loob sa gobyerno natin. 'Di ba? Yun naman yung talagang gustong mangyari even with PRRD time. Hindi naman kailan ba nag-start ang NTF-ELCAC? 'Di ba? Panahon ni PRRD. Walang iba, guys, walang ibang taong magkakaroon ng interest na i-impeach si VP Sara kung hindi ang makabayan lang. Majority. Minority sila pero mukha silang majority. Saka, Diyos ko, no? Very recent lang, I think it's coming from NTF-ELCAC, no? Na in-award nila yung mga rewards or bayad sa kanilang mga informant. And there, we were able to see the names ng mga informant nila. Not their real name, but their pseudo-names. Diba? And yet, paulit-ulit like was it Ortega or Asidre? Oh, the last time I saw was Ortega na may mga pina-check sila sa PSA and so on and so forth. Minsan gusto ko maintindihan. Ako, I support everyone who's fighting corruption. Okay? We are for good governance. Pero, I'm not amendable dun sa mga taong pinalalabas na tanga tayo mga Pilipino. Especially under the RA, let me double check on that, but it's a graft and corruption, no? RA 3019. Tama nga ako. RA 3019. So under this law, may nakalagay dito, you cannot divulge confidential information. Diba? Namiss ko itong law field. Hanapin natin. Ayan. That's under Section 3, Corrupt Practices of Public Officers. In addition to acts or omission of public officers already penalized by the existing law, the following shall constitute corrupt practices of any public officers and are hereby declared to be unlawful. Punta tayo sa K, divulging valuable information of an confidential in character acquired by the office or by him, acquired by his office or by him on account of his official position to an authorized person, or releasing such information in advance of its unauthorized release date. Diba? So, paano yan? Going back here, confidential, no? Valuable information of a confidential character. Magiging ano ba? Magiging liable ba ang mga kongresista na naglabas ng mga pangalan, ng mga aliases ng mga nasa confidential fund ni VP Sara? Can you easily constitute her as a corrupt official only because she was using pseudonyms as part of their confidential policies? Hindi, di ba? Even COA cannot even declare that she was corrupt. Or hindi mapapatunayan o walang hawak ang COA na kayang patunayan na si VP Sara ay isang corrupt official. Based on the names, no, pseudonames ng mga informant nila. Diba? babalikan natin itong original topic natin. Nagbabanggaan na po ang House of Representatives, ang Senate, only because of this. Lalo na kung ma-file nga yung draft na yung resolution ng pagdi-dismiss na impeachment claim laban kay VP Sara. I can only imagine the chaos between the House of Representatives and the Senate. But how Senate will gonna stand on their ground? Diba? Paano? Anyway guys, again, maraming salamat sa panonood. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, at i-comment yun na. Ano sa tingin nyo yung magiging magiging resulta nitong nagiging start ng bangayan between the Senate and the House of Representatives. No? At sinasabi nilang there's really something wrong sa ginagawa ng Senate sa lahat ng delays.